Tonight from Target Field in Minneapolis, the Red Sox begin a 6-game road trip against the Minnesota Twins following a highly charged homestand. The Sox hoping to get on a roll here in the Midwest. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us here in Minnesota. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, Red Sox Hall of Famer Jerry Remy. Garen Austin will be joining us in just a couple of moments. And, Jerry, the baseball tonight goes to the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez. He's coming off 9 strikeouts against the Cubs in his last outing. Are you noticing a quicker tempo from him?
Oh, absolutely, without question. You know, you go back a couple of starts ago, and he's never been considered a slow worker, but very deliberate. And when we watch him earlier in the season, you're going to see it's going to take him 21 seconds when he gets the ball back from the catcher, which gives the hitter an opportunity to step out, think about what's going to be coming next. You know, all the advantage, in my opinion, when a pitcher works slow, goes to the hitter because he's got time to think. Now, when we go fast forward this after the 21 seconds, and we go to his last performance, which was against the Chicago Cubs at Fenway Park, he was getting the baseball and getting right back to the mound. Now, you're going to see this last outing. And this puts the hitter on a defensive right now. He's stepping out, but he knows he's going to get back in there because Erod's ready to throw. And I think that's been a major advantage for him. Now, where did that come from? Obviously, it came from Chris Sale. He does it better than anybody. He's as quick as you can possibly be. Also, the fact that Pedro Martinez talked to Rodriguez when they were on that last homestand. And he said, look, he says, you got to work more like Sale. He says, the faster you work, it's to your advantage. He did that last time. He was great. He's actually been great his last couple of times out. Hopes to continue tonight.
This will call it the Sale effect. Should it continue tonight here against the Minnesota Twins, Eduardo on the mound against this American League foe. And when we come back, Garen with details on the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, who is here tonight in Minneapolis. She'll talk about that in just a moment. Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger Program. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Beautiful night here in Minneapolis and at Target Field. Time to bring in Garen Austin. Garen, the Commissioner of Baseball has been actively involved in the Red Sox the last couple of days, and he's in town tonight.
That's right, OB. Commissioner Rob Manfred is visiting Target Field, and he talked before the game, and he spoke about several subjects, and he also addressed why he decided to get involved with what was going on between the Red Sox and the Orioles.
I felt it was different than the normal, I hit your guy, you hit my guy. As a matter of fact, it had persisted so long, it was hard to trace back who had hit who when and whose turn it was, if you will let me use that phrase. Given that fact, We decided we were going to try something a little different in terms of speaking to the clubs and just asking them, no matter where you think you are in this process of back and forth, enough's enough before somebody gets really seriously hurt. I think we were also motivated. There were at least one pitch that was of grave concern to us, a second one of serious concern, and we just didn't want to see it go any further.
And John Farrell said he was also able to sit down and have a nice conversation with the commissioner as well. And now time to focus on baseball. Phil Hughes and Eduardo Rodriguez are taking the mound when we come back.
By Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. They're expecting a very nice crowd. In fact, good crowds throughout the weekend. Some of their biggest of the season to this point here in Minnesota to see the Red Sox come to town for the first of a 3-game series, a night game and then 2 day games. Then the Sox head to Milwaukee after an off day on Monday. So the Twins taking the field now behind the right-hander Phil Hughes. And here's a look at the Red Sox lineup he'll deal with tonight. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dustin Pedroia just eats the Twins alive. Andrew Benintendi is in left, Mookie Betts in right. Hanley Ramirez, the DH, coming off a very nice homestand. Xander Bogaerts just tears the cover off the ball against the Twins. So, in particular, Pedroia and Bogaerts delighted to be here. Moreland at first, Rutledge back at third base. Jackie Bradley trying to get out of a slide. He's in center. And Christian Vazquez is the catcher and batting ninth. And up against Hughes, he comes in 4-1, but with a high earned run average. So he's a little bit fortunate to have this 1-loss record.
The Twins defense is the best in the American League to this point of the season. Only 8 errors in 26 games. Miguel Sano will be at third base. Jorge Polanco, the shortstop. Brian Dozier at second, and Joe Mauer, the first baseman. Left to right, Eddie Rosario, Max Kepler, and Robbie Grossman, and Jason Castro doing the catching for Hughes.
Here are the umpires. They're brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Trip Gibson behind the plate. Brian Gorman at first, Dan Iasanda at second base, and Mike DeMuro, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
We don't want to rub it in. We realize back home it has not been very pleasant, but here it's been beautiful. Weather brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. 75 right now. Mostly cloudy. We had a lot of sun here today. When we finally woke up, Red Sox got in about 3:30 this morning.
Bed about 4, up about 9, and off to the ballpark we come, and hopefully have a good baseball game.
Great to have you back.
Great to be back.
Sox and the Twins ready for game 1. Dustin Pedroia in against Phil Hughes. He's hitting .281. Strike 1, and we're underway.
Hughes is not the hard thrower that he once was. We look at Pedroia's numbers on the season, but his fastball now tops out about 90, 91 miles an hour. Throws more changeups.
Now 30 years old. Of course, he was a longtime Yankee, so he's seen a lot of the Red Sox over the years.
6-9 against Boston. That's in 26 career appearances.
Fly ball routinely hit coming on Kepler. One man gone. Benintendi will be next.
And one of the things they were talking about Hughes, he's throwing a lot more first pitch changeups because he's always been a guy that likes to get ahead in the count. He doesn't walk many guys, and the league kind of caught on for him for a while. He was going to throw that first pitch fastball for a strike, so he's tried to mix in more off-speed pitches early in the count.
Benintendi next. Andrew hitting .305, 3 home runs. And looking to snap an 0 for 9 skid as he takes strike 1. Red Sox finishing a draining 4-game series with Baltimore with a 2-2 split and went 4-5 on the homestand. Slap foul.
Good location for that breaking ball. Keeps it on the outside part of the plate against Benintendi. All he can do is foul it off in foul territory.
Starting tonight, the Sox will play 30 of the next 44 games on the road. One man away, man, the 0-2 pitch. Now, Hughes has been a little bit on the fortunate side with that 5.06 ERA. He's not going deep into games, but they have been scoring runs for him. They've kind of been a one big inning offense that's carried them to this point.
Yeah, they've played good all around baseball. They're pitching well. They're swinging the bat pretty well. They got some power in the lineup. Their pitching has been good. Their defense has been outstanding, as I mentioned. And they've been an early season surprise.
They're 14-12. A lot of people wrote him off before the season began. That one stroked down the line. That's hit well deep into the corner, but he hooked it, and it's a foul ball.
That's the little cut fastball right there from Hughes that Benintendi just got a little bit ahead of and pulled it hard, but pulled it foul down that right field line. Trying to break an 0 for 9 spell that he's in right now.
He did homer twice on a homestand, Friday and Saturday. Red Sox battling the Yankees, the Cubs, and the Orioles. Some homestand. One of those games rained out, of course, with the Yankees. And that's on the corner, says Tripp Gibson, for strike 3. Caught him looking.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit outside, but the fact is that Hughes throughout his whole career has thrown strikes, so he will get the benefit of the call. You see the location, it appears to be just a bit off the outside edge, but the fact is that he's around the plate so much, he will get that extra little bit on the outside or inside corner.
That'll send up Mookie Betts. 281, 2 home runs for Mookie. Almost 100 at bats, and he has struck out just 7 times. The Red Sox have struck out the fewest times in the majors. But last in home runs. That one heading for the alley. That's going to go all the way out there onto the grass, onto the track, up against the wall. Betts into second base with an easy double. Right in front of Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, Mookie now with a 4-game hitting streak. He gets that breaking ball from Hughes that time and does a nice job taking it where it was located. The ball's going to be away from him. You see the target. That's very good hitting, going down to the outside part of the plate, not trying to pull it, take it to the opposite field, and get yourself in scoring position with 2 outs.
Red Sox trying to jump out in front here in the top half of the first inning. That'll send up Hanley at 269, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. And tonight playing in career game number 1,500. Two down, a man at second. Hanley had a nice homestand. He had 387, 4 home runs. Every one of those left Fenway entirely. And 7 RBIs. And really looked like he had settled in with that home run stroke. Bounding ball, the shortstop, Polanco, will throw on to get him. And that'll be it. Red Sox strand a runner in scoring position. And Erod about to get onto the hill here tonight in Minnesota. Look at their lineup brought to you by New England Chevy Dealers. Brian Dozier's a home run threat. Joe Mauer at first. Miguel Sano at third base. Grossman at right. Kepler in center. Escobar the DH. Castro the catcher. Polanco at shortstop. Eddie Rosario in left field and batting ninth. Against the Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi Dealers, Eduardo Rodriguez. He's 1-1, an ERA of 2.70. Dozier with 4 home runs on the year, and he'll look at a strike.
And Rodriguez coming off a great outing against the Cubs. 6 innings in that game, had 9 strikeouts and 1 earned run.
(1-1), a called strike. Now, Christian Vasquez called that start against the Cubs on Sunday night the best game I've ever seen from him.
Yeah, had the good combination of the fastball, the changeup, and the slider working all at a very quick pace. Wants the fastball upstairs right here.
And puts him away with it. Really pounding the mitt for the first out.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are last in the American League. 26 errors in 28 games. Josh Rutledge will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mitch Moll at the first baseman. Left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts. And Christian Vasquez doing the catching for Rodriguez.
Here's Joe Mauer. Kind of scuffling along at 230 with 1 home run, 10 RBIs. Guy's been a great hitter throughout his career. but tailing off a little bit at the age of 34. That one inside off the elbow. That got him. So he's been hit by the pitch.
Yeah, Mauer just catching it right off that right elbow, it looked like. An inside fastball. He's got that guard on the right side, and it looks like it got a piece of that guard that was protecting his elbow.
First man that Rodriguez has hit this year. You would not expect that to create any issues.
Well, let's hope not, Dave. I wouldn't expect it to. This guy could be an issue.
And Miguel Sano, and a high fly ball to right field down the line. Long run for Betts, heading deep into the corner. Leaps and he can't get it. It's off the wall. It bounces way away from him. Here comes Mauer. They're going to send him in. Mookie collects, and it scoots in way too late down to third. Sano is there with a triple.
I think this ball totally surprised Mookie Betts in right field. When you watch the replay, watch him kind of glide after this like he's got it all the way. And it seemed to me he's peeking at the wall right there, and it surprised him how deep that ball was. Now the ball takes a wicked carom off the wall right there, and that's going to allow a run to score. I thought that Betts, instead of going home there, should have gone to third base with that throw. That would have kept Sano at second base. So instead, he's at third. The Red Sox pull the infield in early in the game.
Robbie Grossman, the hitter, their cleanup man. They do not play on contact to dive, but no one can get it. It caroms off into left field, and another run is in. Sano scores, and just like that, 2-0 Minnesota.
Now that hurts right there because they've got the infield pulled in. The ground ball at third base. It looked like with a dive, they were not going to score a run. But the ball, after the dive, clanks off the glove right there, as you can see, Rutledge, and goes out into left field. Once that happens, that's when Sano comes on the score.
That's a base hit. He triples in a run and then drives in another with a single. So the Red Sox fall behind quickly here in the first inning, and Kepler the batter. 262, 2 home runs. Kepler, born in Germany, one of 43 German-born players to play in the majors. And a dive back in for Grossman.
Yeah, Grossman, the cleanup hitter, has not had a stolen base yet on the season. Has not tried to run yet. But a little check over there by Rodriguez.
One man out and a 1-0. One of the reasons the Twins are such a surprise at 2 games over 500 right now is they were so bad out of the gate through the same period of games, 26 games last year. They were 8-18, went on to lose 103, and not many predicted they were going to be much better than that this year, but they have been. They played a lot better baseball. Fouled off.
That's interesting, Dave, because early season success like they're having can carry you a long way. Once you get buried early in the season, it's awfully tough to climb out of that hole. But when you play good baseball, you start to feel, hey, we're a good club and we can compete in our division. And I think that's how they feel right now. I know it's early, but it is a good start for them. And as you mentioned earlier, much better than people thought.
And Paul Molitor has been very pleased. They've been doing the little things to win games. He'll be in there for a strike on Kepler. He likes how they pitched. Staff ERA under 4.
And the defense, the best in the American League.
No question. That's kind of been a hallmark of the Minnesota Twins when they've had good teams. So got a Hall of Fame manager, Hall of Famer as a player, and the 2-2 fouled back into the net.
changeup that time at 83 miles an hour that stayed up in the zone. A little bit of a dangerous pitch that time by Rodriguez. Lefty against lefty.
Kepler has some pop in that bat. He hit 17 home runs a season ago. Rodriguez trying to put him away with a 2-2 pitch.
Tried the slider that time. That's the first one he has thrown tonight. Missing off the outside part of the plate. Not even tempting. Not really tempting for the hitter to swing at.
Well, this started after he had struck out Dozier. He hit Mauer with a pitch on the elbow. Sano with the triple. Grossman with a base hit. Now the 3-2. And lofted toward left along the line. Lengthy romp for Benintendi. Won't get there. It's off into the stands. The Red Sox like how their pitching lined up here in Minneapolis. Tonight with Rodriguez, tomorrow afternoon Rick Porcello, and Sunday afternoon Chris Sale. Although Sale is taking on Irvin Santana, who's 5-0 with a 0.66 ERA. Sale goes in 2-2 with a 138. That should be a dandy. Back to Erod. The Bogart's got it out there onto first and not in time. The man in the middle, Grossman, is erased, and there are two gone.
Well, you know, they didn't get the double play, but in my opinion, I thought that Rodriguez did this well. You know, he got himself under control. We see so many times when a pitcher gets the ball back to him that he tries to rush the ball at second base and ends up throwing it away. There he takes the crow hop step, gives a pretty decent throw. They just could not turn over the double play soon enough with Kepler getting it out of line. But I thought the Red Sox on that particular play did everything right.
2 away. Here's Escobar, one of several switch hitters on this roster. 262. He's hit 3 home runs. Went for the downs and came up empty. Strike one. Twins out in front, 2-0 in the first. Rodriguez had allowed only 1 run in his last 2 starts, as that one floats down the right field line out of play. So he has the upper hand now on Escobar, who is their DH tonight. Kepler, the runner at first base. Back in on the dive.
Yeah, he's got a couple of steals, 2 steals. He has not been caught. And a lot of times, if you're gonna go, you go when there's a couple of strikes on the hitter. Vasquez wants the fastball upstairs. That's almost going to be like a pitch out if you don't get a swing.
Runner holding, and it is up high. 1-2. He's hit 2 home runs in the last 3 games for Escobar. They have shown some power. They've hit 30 home runs. 1-2. He left that one up top.
And I tried to go upstairs again, but again, Escobar won't chase it.
Two and 2. This will be the 20th pitch here in the first inning for Rodriguez. Runner staying put. Line drive, not hit sharply. And he gets him for out number 3. But Minnesota strikes right away. They get 2, and they lead it 2-0 after 1. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Xander Bogaerts hitting .427 against the Twins, the highest for any player since the franchise moved to Minnesota in 1961. Third highest average for any active player against a single opponent. Overall, Xander hitting .330. And Hughes deals him strike one to get the second inning underway. 2-0. The Twins have the lead. He not only hits here, he hits for power at Target Field. The breaking ball swoops in for strike. And he is 5 for 12 against Hughes. So just about every pitcher on their staff, he gives him fits.
Back-to-back curveballs that time to Bogaerts. He tried to bury that last one, bouncing it, and hoped that Bogaerts would chase it. He did not. Runs to count the 1 and 2.
Moreland on deck.
Looks like another curveball.
Lunges out and punches that one into the outfield off the end of the bat. That's the way it is for Xander Bogaerts against this team.
That's just good hitting by Bogaerts. I mean, you get another breaking ball, the third one in a row, the third curveball in a row, and this one's going to be down and away from Bogaerts. Reaches out almost one-handed and takes it into center field for the base hit. Watch the location of this pitch. I mean, that's perfect. But look at Xander cover the plate and drops it in. There are some teams you're just hot against, and he stays hot against Minnesota.
He is 30 for his last 47 against them. Kind of amazing. Well, here comes Mitch Moreland. 265, 2 home runs. Showing some signs that he is heating up again after a cold stretch. Got a little some in the eye.
And now a complete shift on Moreland. They are playing him to pull, but they do not have the shortstop Polanco on the second base side of the bag.
Moreland hitting his 13th double on Tuesday. That leads the majors. Slicer foul. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets from bleachers to boxes. Ace has the lowest prices and backed with a 200% guarantee. Visit aceticket.com now or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Hughes has allowed 2 hits so far, gave up a double to Mookie Betts, but Red Sox could not bring him in the first inning, and now Xander Bogaerts with a leadoff single in the second. Hughes really slows it down with a man on. And finally, the 0-2. Right past him, he struck him out, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, elevated just a little bit above the belt, and that's what they try to do to Moreland when they get ahead of him, throw him high fastballs. Shook off the fastball the first time, accepted it the second time, and gets it just above the belt for the swing and miss.
Second strikeout for Hughes, 1 away in the second inning for the Sox. Here comes Rutledge. Josh Rutledge again at third base tonight. 250 without a home run. Third base has become the spot everyone's talking about for the Red Sox, to the point where, because of all these errors, John Farrell joked the other day, I think we need to perform an exorcism on third base. It's gotten that bad. The Red Sox have said they do not plan right now to go outside the organization and look for help there. They believe they can get it done inside, and Rutledge has the gig right now.
Let's see if the Red Sox play some hit and run in this situation. You got a guy that's going to be around the plate and use. And you got Rutledge at the plate working toward the bottom of the order. They might try to get something going.
One and one on the number 7 hitter. No play on there as it's inside. 2-1.
Yeah, Rutledge was just waiting right there to get hit in the elbow. You can see him. That ball was headed right towards elbow. He didn't move it very much. Breaking ball. A lot of times guys will take that right off the arm, right off the shoulder.
Josh was 2 for 4 last night. Got a piece to make it 2-2. Jackie Bradley on deck, trying to fight his way out of a slump. Now for Hughes last year, 2016, a lost season. He made just 11 starts because of a broken leg. Suffered in June after he was hit by a line drive. Then lots of shoulder issues. That one slapped to the left side. Sano has it. Oh, had trouble getting it out and doesn't get anybody. Red Sox catch a big break as the big fella could not release it.
Yeah, they tell us that Sano's been playing very, very well down at third base, but not here. He got the ball trapped in his glove and he couldn't get a grip on it. He wanted to go to second base. It bounces out there. He tries to regain and go to first base, but not in time to get Rutledge. So the Red Sox catch a break there because that could have been a double play.
It also could have been an E5. They have ruled it a single.
They what?
Gave him a base hit.
Okay, good for Josh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a score that any hitter would love. First and second, and one down. And Jackie Bradley at 189 trying to get going.
I wish this official scorer would have been around when I was playing.
I'll bet. And Jackie went 1 for 10 in the Baltimore series, 3 for 28 on the homestand. He could really use a hit right here with one down. That's a strike.
That's the changeup too. 82 miles an hour outside part of the plate. Not a pitch you want to swing at when the count's 1-0.
Bogaerts and Rutledge leading away. Chance here in the second for the Red Sox. And he taps that one foul. Vasquez on deck.
Import the NESN Red Sox calendar into your favorite calendar program and don't miss another game for the rest of the season. You'll get automatic updates, game reminders, and much more. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import the schedule today.
One ball and 2 strikes on Jackie Bradley, hitting in the 8th slot. Xander Bogaerts lunging and popping a single into the outfield. Josh Rutledge getting a gift on a ground ball that Sanoka not free from his glove. And that's in there for strike 3. That one came back to the corner to get him.
That's what happens when you're slumping. You know, everything looks like a nasty pitch, and this is nasty. It's a cut fastball that's going to pick up the corner down and away from Bradley. And you know, when you're having the kind of run that Jackie's having right now, that's the kind of pitches that they make on you, and there's not much you can do about it. You get frustrated, as Bradley did there, but that's a good pitch.
So 2 away. Vasquez trying to come through here, hitting .357, no homers, 4 RBIs for Christian. Red Sox left a man in scoring position. That was Mookie Betts, who had doubled in the first inning, and now 2 men on in the second. And Hughes with a 1-0.
And because Vasquez goes the other way a lot, you see Robbie Grossman in right field playing very shallow out there. And you know, Bogart's on contact. If there's a ball hit in that direction, he's really going to get a good jump. Now, as soon as you see that bat start to go, you leave with 2 outs, and hopefully he's able to score.
A ball and a strike on Vasquez, and a 1-1. Fly ball, pretty well hit. Driving back Grossman, still backing up on the track, turns, he makes the play. And that will retire the side. Vasquez put a pretty good charge into it, but nothing to show. 2-0 Twins. Question: who is the Minnesota Twins' greatest left-handed hitter? Text 1 for Rod Carew on your screen right now, one of the statues outside the ballpark, or 2 for Joe Mauer. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote.
Well, let me tell you something. This should be a wipeout as far as I'm concerned. I mean, should I say who? I don't think I have to. Rod Carew.
Exactly. Castro cuts and misses for strike 1.
I'll tell you he is one of the best hitters I have ever seen. There was no way to defend Rod Carew. When we used to go by him in the meetings, it used to be just play straight up and hope that he hits it at somebody. That's what we said.
My dad was a huge Sox fan, but loved Rod Carew.
Oh, he was line to line. He could bunt with the best of them, bunt with 2 strikes, and drop it anywhere he wanted to. I mean, he was just a beautiful hitter.
I remember when Ichiro first came over from Japan, there were a lot of folks that were comparing that hitting style, and that ability to use the bat like a magic wand to Rod Carew.
Yeah. Yep.
The 2-1. That one ate him up. 2-2 on Castro. Rod has had a lot of health issues in recent years. Certainly hoping for the best. Quite a gentleman. And one of the legends here. Joe Mauer, pretty darn good hitter.
I'm taking nothing away from Mauer, but man, I saw that other guy up front. It was something.
2-2. Flick foul. Polanco on deck, and then Rosario here, bottom third of the order. So a chance for Rodriguez to pick up some outs. It is 2-0. Twins have the lead here in the second. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you. Beautiful night here in Minneapolis. He made a big pitch there. Got the call. 96-mile-an-hour fastball to get him.
Yeah, perfect location. Keeping that fastball away from Castro. Lefty against lefty. Just wears out that outside corner. Beautiful pitch by Rodriguez for his second strikeout.
Every time a Red Sox pitcher strikes out a Twins batter, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Jorge Polanco now the shortstop. He's a switch hitter, hitting .241. He's one of the guys that they are complimenting for his defense and shoring things up on that infield. One of the reasons the Twins are off to such a good start. Twins getting good crowds. Expected to have excellent crowds throughout this weekend. The weather's going to be nice tomorrow and Sunday too. Sunny and in the 60s. 0-2. That one hit fair past the diving Rutledge and down the line off the side fence. Polanco wants second base. He's got a double. That is their second extra base hit tonight against Rodriguez.
Yeah, right down the third base line. A dive by Rutledge going to his right, but it gets by him. There was a little bobble out there by Benintendi, but that didn't matter. It was going to be a 2-base hit regardless. Right down the third base line. It bounces off this wall, and Benintendi will bobble it just a bit as he tries to barehand it, but that's not going to make any difference. He was going to be at second base anyway.
So Polanco in scoring position in front of the 9-hitter Rosario, who's hitting .293 with 3 home runs. And he has hit in 14 straight, which is a career high. And a left-hander drops in strike 1.
Starts him off with a changeup. Lefty against lefty, not expecting that as a left-handed hitter when the first pitch, and he gets the changeup with the man in scoring position.
Rosario hitting almost 400 during this hitting streak, and with a little bit of power. 0-2.
Another changeup, back to back. He doubles up on it.
The Yankees were down to their final strike against the Cubs. Brett Gardner hit a 3-run homer in the 9th inning, and they shocked the Cubs 3-2.
I saw that down in the lunchroom. 3-2 breaking ball from Rondon.
1-2. So the Yankees continue to be a major story early. They're now 18-9. Leading the Orioles and then the Sox in the American League East. Red Sox began play 3 games out today. Polanco leading off second. And a 1-2.
See Bogarts at shortstop. I mean, he's really in behind the run of Polanco. He's been trying to keep him as close to the bag as possible because it is a running situation with 1 out. And then he's got to battle to get himself back into a position. Now all of a sudden he's moving back. So they're going to leave Polanco alone on this 2-2 count.
Now Dozier on deck. Another home run threat. 2-2. High fly down the line. Benintendi backing up at the track. He's there. He lunges and he makes the play in fair territory. Back to second base Polanco, and there are 2 down.
Ball left the bat. I thought maybe it had a chance to get out of here right down the line, but to the warning track. And Benintendi never losing concentration, never taking his eye off the baseball. Gets down in the corner and able to figure his way through the corner to make the catch.
So 2 down. Dozier next. He struck out to begin this game from Minnesota. Hit 42 home runs last year. And he drove in 99 runs. He's been the subject of a lot of trade rumors. Certainly was over the winter. They did not deal him. Right now they're delighted they did not.
And there was a lot of talk too that they wanted to move him down to like 3rd or 4th in the lineup, and that never happened. Still remains to the top of the lineup. He's got 4 home runs already. He's got 6 steals.
And the lefty with a 1-0 pitch, and downstairs dug out by Vasquez. 2-0. Polanco at second.
To this point in the game, Rodriguez not as sharp as he was in his last outing against the Cubs.
Since last year's All-Star break, he's made 18 starts. His ERA 3.12. So over a pretty lengthy stretch, he's been throwing it well, but tonight a bit of a scuffle. And a 2-0. A strike. Mauer would be next, and a 2-1 to Dozier. Fouled out of play. Mauer was hit by a pitch in the first inning, caught his elbow. And then Sano would drive him in with a triple off the right field wall, and it bounded way past Mookie Betts back toward the infield. Grossman singled, and they had a 2-0 lead very quickly. Now Rodriguez trying to make sure it doesn't go 3-0. And foul back out of play.
And you look at both of those plays, I mean, it could easily be a 0-0 ball game right now, because I thought that Mookie misjudged that a little bit. Instead of busting back toward the wall, he kind of took a kind of a weird angle and then back, and it really bounced at the bottom of the wall. Plus, that caused the Red Sox infield to come in, and then that ground ball gets by Rutledge for the second run.
Two out, man at second, a 2-2 to Dozier. He's being pesky here. Typically, lately, he's been very pesky against the Red Sox. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 at .378 against the Sox. And he doesn't look like a 42 home run guy, does he?
Pretty strong, I guess. You know, he must be to be able to hit that many home runs. And
there's a lot of home runs. He packs a wallop. 2-2 again. And a high twisting pop into right field. That should end the inning. Mookie Betts there to make the catch. And Rodriguez strands a runner in scoring position. Technology and math episode of Nesson Clubhouse. Dustin Pedroia dishes on the secret to winning a Fitbit challenge, and Williams College teaches us the best path to take around the bases Sunday afternoon at 12:30. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. What are you laughing at?
You've lost me. You've lost. They gotta. What are they gonna do?
I'm not going back to it.
The best path around the bases.
Around the bases. It's not that complicated, but they might have a new wrinkle on it.
I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Dustin Pedroia will be part of that. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a fly to center. Loves to face Hughes, by the way. .390 against him with 5 home runs. Benintendi and Betts to follow. Red Sox trying to get something going here against Hughes. Pedroia has hit Minnesota, period, though, in 68 career games, .362. Ian Bogaerts in particular. Love it here. Here comes the 2-1. All even now on Dustin.
They really pinched the left side against Pedroia. They have Polanco and Sano very close together, and he's got a lot of room up the middle. But generally, when he pulls the ball, he does pull it on the ground in that direction.
To the right side, and there's Dozier to scoop it up and get him. One man out, the Red Sox third. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Well, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred is in town. He spoke about several issues, including what happened with Adam Jones at Fenway Park. Manfred said they're in the process of gathering information to get a feel of the practices that are in place to ensure that all players have an environment in which they feel comfortable at all major league ballparks where they're asked to play. He also spoke about diversity in the workforce and pointed out how they've invested millions of dollars in programs in an effort to encourage African Americans to take up baseball with programs like MLB Academy and several other inner city programs. And guys, it's clearly paying dividends. He pointed out that 20% of this year's draft were African American compared to 7% that are currently playing.
Garrett, thank you very much for the update. As Benintendi is in taking a strike, he struck out looking in the first inning. The commissioner does this. It's a little bit strange that he's here as the Red Sox show up after everything happened in the Orioles series, but he goes around the league and visits every city.
Yeah, he's very active and had a chance to talk about the goings on at both at Fenway Park and of course between the Red Sox and Orioles. He was very frank about everything.
Yeah, quite candid. The 1-1. Center field fly ball. Kepler backing up. Track still going. He's still going. And it's gone. Boy, that one was launched. Benintendi with his 4th home run of the season. Well, for a while there, it looked like kind of a lazy fly ball, and then all of a sudden Kepler had some panic in his step, and he was kissing it goodbye.
I think what surprised him, if you watch this pitch again, it's going to be a changeup. Now, Benintendi is providing all his own power on this. That's a changeup down and away. And he's able to reach out and power this ball up over the head. And you can see right there that Kepler thinks he's got that gauge pretty well. And it just kept going and going and going.
Number 4 for Benintendi. Red Sox on the board with a blast. 2-1 Twins. For every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by your local Speedway and quench your thirst with a refreshing fountain soda or Speedy Freeze. Any size, just 69 cents. Line shot here by Mookie Betts and a sliding stab by Rosario as he takes away a hit. 2 gone.
Rosario taking a chance there. If that ball gets by him, Betts is talking about maybe 3 bases, but he makes an excellent play going into the slide. And actually the ball was a little bit higher than I thought it was on contact. Ended up about hip high for him when he went into the slide.
As Jerry mentioned earlier, their defense, people are raving about how good they are. Now Hanley Ramirez 0 for 1. He is grounded to short. 2-1 Minnesota. And a high twisting fly down the right field line heading for the seats.
You know, you look at the Red Sox, Dave, now, and in my opinion, I just think 2 things that are very obvious that they need is better defense, number 1, and more power. You know, more home runs, because they're still last in the American League in home runs. You know, they're a very respectable team batting average, but you know those home runs make a huge difference in a game. They can put one away for you, get you back in a game. Benintendi getting one this inning to get the first run of the ball game for Boston.
And the 19th of the season for the Red Sox.
They get an opportunity, I think. You know, you look at the schedule right now, and I think we were both talking about it prior to the game. They get a schedule that's conducive to making a move right now. If those 2 things can start to click for them, better defense, more power, they should run off some wins.
You got Milwaukee coming up, Tampa Bay, Oakland coming up. Texas has been a bit of a disappointment. So has Seattle. All opponents coming up this month. Chance to make some hay for the Red Sox as we check out the schedule. A lot of road games granted. We talked about that. 12 of the next 15 are on the road.
St. Louis having their problems right now. Same with Oakland.
But you got to beat the opponents on your schedule you're supposed to beat. It was a very, very rough, difficult homestand against excellent opponents. No question about that. Red Sox going 4-5. They were hoping for better. Here's the 0-2.
Hughes got away with one there. He missed the spot. He wanted to go inside against Hanley with the fastball. He left it out over the plate, a little bit away. You can see where the catcher's set up and see where the pitch is. That's not where he wanted it, but Hanley fouled it straight back.
Hanley has homered in his last 2 games against the Twins. Hard ground ball, but right there to the big third baseman Sano, and he'll get him to retire the side. But Benintendi spanks one to the berm in center. The Red Sox are on the board. Park at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center at Fenway, the first aid station located behind section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org. Benintendi with a home run to center field. It just kept on carrying and carrying, and the Red Sox are down a run 2-1 as we go to the last of the third. And Joe Mauer, the batter, hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. Coming in at just 230. This is a guy who's a .308 career major league hitter. And a batting champ. He'll take a strike. Now you wonder at this point in his career, Jerry, is he going to be a 300 hitter again? Are those days over for him? Last 2 years, 265, 261.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, his better days are obviously behind him. He signed that very, very long contract here with the Minnesota Twins. He's a very popular player in the area, but, you know, you never count a guy out for hitting 300, but I mean, he's obviously not on that trend over the last couple of seasons.
And huge contract expiring after next season. Little comebacker, nice backhand stab by Erod to get him. One man gone.
And Rodriguez has actually made a couple of nice plays defensively tonight. That one that came right back to him. The double play attempt earlier in the ball game when he threw to Bogarts. He couldn't get the double play, but he made a nice throw to him. So fielding his position very well.
Here's Sano, triple and a run and an RBI in the first inning for the 6'4", 262-pound right-hand hitter.
This guy is got big time power. I was watching him take batting practice today. He was wearing out that top deck in left field.
It reminds you in a lot of ways, not with, you know, the physical approach and the swing, but in the results and how he goes about his job. Reminds you of Chris Davis of the Orioles, who hits a lot of home runs. This guy has topped him. He's hit 8 already, but he strikes out a ton.
Yeah, you know, he's maintaining a 300 batting average, 8 home runs, but he struck out 39 times.
Yeah, 91 at bats. But can hit it to the moon. And that's in there for strike 3. Caught him looking.
Oh, Erod will take that. That ball appeared to be up and out of the strike zone, and Sano would just swing back to the dugout. And I think Rodriguez probably surprised himself he got this call. Watch the location of this pitch. I mean, that's pretty high up in the zone, or out of the zone, actually. Sano wants to say something real bad, but he's already in trouble.
Yeah, he did. In there for a strike. Sox have been a little fortunate tonight.
They have been.
Gift of a hit that was stuck inside Sano's glove, and now that strikeout. Grossman slices that one. Foley as an RBI single. Did you sense as a hitter immediately when the umpire rung you up like that that he knows he missed it?
Sometimes, yes, and sometimes they will admit it. Like the next time you come to the plate, if you keep your cool about it, you know, and you don't give them any gruff, and you just kind of make your way back to the day. If you walk up the next time and say, you know, that last time up, I think you might have missed that. And there have been umpires that, you know, you're right, I did miss it. You know, some will be honest, and some will never say they missed a pitch. Never.
1-2 and a bounding ball at first, driving back Moreland. Now the flip foot race, close, and got him. So Rodriguez got there in time. A little reaction there. He got him 1-2-3.
McCoy Stadium next Friday, when the Paw Sox host Rochester, will be given a Paw Sox travel mug courtesy of Nesson and Dunkin' Donuts. Travel mug commemorates the 75th anniversary of McCoy Stadium with photos of many of the stars who played at McCoy.
Bogarts with a 2-hopper to short to begin the 4th inning, and set down quickly by Phil Hughes, 1 away.
Just to complete that, to purchase tickets, visit pawsox.com, and there have been many great players that have come through Pawtucket.
Sure have. 1 man away from Mitch Moreland, strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. 2-1 Minnesota here in game 1 of 3. Red Sox facing an old foe here in Hughes, who won a World Series with the Yankees in 2009. He was a Yankee for 7 years. Best year coming in 2010 with New York, when he went 18-8. So he has had some success. Marlins started the night 265, 2 home runs. He's due for another. 1-1. I think one thing you're seeing with Mitch here in recent games is why he was a Gold Glover. There were times early on this season where his defense was a little choppy, made some errors, but now he is saving errors on a routine basis, digging those throws out of the dirt. And very smooth over there. Here in recent games, Red Sox have needed that because defensively they have been a disappointment.
Which is surprising to me, because I had a feeling, I thought this ball club was going to be a real good defensive team. And it still may end up being that way, but teams, it's like anything else, hitting, pitching, they go through slumps defensively, but to make this many errors and this early in the season, that's just way too many. 26 and 28.
The Red Sox have a dead last, and Moreland has saved more than a couple over the last week. The 2-2 in there for strike 3. Caught him looking, and there are 2 down.
That's become a pretty big strike zone. They go inside to Moreland. A questionable call, in my opinion. I thought maybe it might have been inside. We'll take another look on replay. Does it come back to the corner? I don't think so. But we saw the high strike called on Sano. Now we see the inside strike called on Moreland. So big strike zone.
Rutledge with a base hit, his first time up. He drove in a game-winning run on Wednesday. Nobody on base, 2 down, and a 1-0. That's across for a strike. Benjamin Moore, paint like no other. And Hughes to fire. Fly ball, right center field. Kepler backing up to the track. He's got it. Tell you what, the ball is carrying tonight. You get it in the air, you've got a shot. But the Red Sox go 1-2-3. with your group in 2017. Red Sox group outings are perfect for entertaining clients, boosting employee morale, school outings, and more. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. 2-1 Twins here in the 4th inning. Eduardo Rodriguez got him 1-2-3 last inning. This is Max Kepler. He's playing center field tonight. Byron Buxton got hurt. Their regular center fielder hit the wall hard yesterday, making a catch against the A's. And he was cleared in a concussion test, but still not ready to get him back into the lineup. Banged his head out there against the fence. Kepler, an excellent athlete. Escobar on deck, and then Jason Castro for the Twins. Erod thinking strikeout, the 1-2. Just got a piece of it. Escobar a switch hitter, so is Polanco. And so is Grossman in this lineup. 1-2, and he got him. He pinned him to the plate. He struck him out looking.
They fouled up a changeup with a fastball on the inside part of the plate and just completely fooled Kepler on this pitch. Exactly where Vasquez was set up. He was set up on the inside corner, and that's exactly where Rodriguez got it. Catches him looking. A lot of times in those situations with 2 strikes on a lefty against a lefty, looking for the ball away, you know, a breaking ball, a slider away, or a fastball on the outside part of the plate. And sometimes you come inside like that, you can just freeze a guy.
4 strikeouts for the left-hander. Red Sox staff has really been piling those up. Here comes the 0-1. Right past him. 95 on the gun there. He's getting into a nice groove here. He has set down 6 in a row. Oh-2. He came back at 94 with that Swifty.
That's a good pitch right there too. He got it up in the zone, and he got it inside. He really jammed Escobar with that fastball. See if he goes back in there. It goes to a changeup, maybe down and away. Shaking off Vasquez. See what they decide on. High fastball up and away.
You said before the game, in fact, in our open to the broadcast, that you've noticed that Rodriguez is quicker with his tempo.
Yeah, it is. He's getting the ball now, and he's getting back on the rubber. That's what he did in his last start against the Cubs. It was really noticeable. Right now, he and Vasquez having a tough time getting on the same page. Looks like he wants the slider.
Made him move his feet. 2-2. Total of 63, just 12 in the 3rd inning. Castro on deck. 2-1 Twins.
You know, we kind of talked about a little bit about it in the open, and my feeling has always been, as a hitter, it's tougher to face a guy that works quickly, you know, because, you know, you can call timeout and you can do all that stuff, but you're really not focusing on what you want to focus on. That's what he might throw next. You just don't have the time. And there's a case where he's shaking off signs, so that's why the hitter takes timeout. But I always found it much more difficult to face a guy with a good tempo.
Chris Sale is proving that. Hard ground ball, nice stab there by Rutledge. Quickly up and gunning, and close. Safe at first base. Bit of a delayed call there by Brian Gorman.
Yeah, it was. He wanted to make sure he got it right, and right now the Red Sox are taking a peek at that, see if they'll challenge it. Rutledge makes a nice play. Now let's look at first base. Boy, that's real close. Might be worth a challenge.
And John Farrell has decided he is going to challenge.
Yeah. Remember, the ball doesn't have to be all the way in the pocket of the glove. He's just going to have the glove. It's almost a dead tie, isn't it?
Just about.
They used to say, the old saying was, the tie goes to the runner.
Like on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're looking at this in New York. Ruled safe. So if they uphold that call, they'll have a runner on with 1 out. 2-1 Minnesota leading here in the 4th inning.
I'm not sure there's enough there to overturn it. It's so close.
Boy,
that's a great look right there, and it's still almost impossible to tell. There's a chance. There's a chance.
And no wonder first base umpire Gorman took so long to make up his mind. Red Sox have challenged 9 times so far this season. 4 times they have seen a call overturned. Escobar getting up that line. And ruled safe. And Eduardo Rodriguez will take advantage of the time to throw a few warm-ups here. And they have a decision. He is safe.
It just wasn't enough there to overturn the original call. That was just so close. And, you know, had it gone the other way and the other team would have, the Twins would have asked to look at it, they would have got the same result.
So the Red Sox lose their challenge. And sends up Jason Castro. He struck out looking in the 2nd inning. That'll be the 4th hit of the ball game for the Twins. The challenge took 1 minute 32 seconds with the commissioner of baseball in the house. They're trying to keep them to 2 minutes and under this year. And Erod fires off the outside corner. We've seen that called a strike tonight.
Yeah, that has been a strike on a number of occasions, but not that time. Escobar at first base is getting himself a pretty decent sized lead over there.
Two always holding. Line shot coming on Benintendi. He's got it. Runner will retreat to first base, and there are 2 gone.
For fans, don't miss NESN Live weeknights at 5:30. Catch the latest on your favorite New England sports teams. NESN Live is presented by Cross Insurance.
Jorge Polanco will be next. He doubled his first time up, although they did not drive him in. '23-year-old from the Dominican Republic, another one of their switch hitters. And back in on the dive, it's Escobar.
Again, being cautious with Escobar. 2 outs now, and certainly a possibility that he could go. Neither one of these teams right now, you know, real big stolen base threats. Twins 6th in the league, though, in steals.
High fly ball. This one does not carry too much, and Benintendi will wait on it to put it away. No runs ahead, 1 left. It remains 2-1 Minnesota. Back for the 5th inning. Red Sox are trailing 2-1 to the Minnesota Twins, and Jackie Bradley will lead things off against Phil Hughes. Jackie 0 for 1, struck out looking, with a couple of men on in the 2nd inning. To be followed by Vasquez and then Dustin Pedroia. Hughes 4-1, an ERA of 5.06 coming into play. Last time out, he went pretty short, just 5 2/3 against Kansas City, but Minnesota won the game 7-5. That's kind of the way it's been going for him. And foul at the plate by Bradley. You and I were talking about Rod Carew a little bit earlier, so I'm looking at his baseball reference career. It's unbelievable.
Pretty good, isn't it?
I mean, 200 hits, 218 hits, 239 hits. I mean, season after season. Hot shot. Sano is there from that side. High throw, but he got him. Time for a game break. It's brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox, and here's TC. Tom, thank you very much. Back here in Minneapolis, Red Sox and Twins game 1 at Target Field. Each side with 4 hits. Each side has stranded 3 base runners. Here's Vasquez. He's 0 for 1. And a curveball for a strike. Very comfortable here tonight. 0-1 on the way. Stroke toward right field. It hangs up for Grossman. And 2 up and 2 down. Top of the order now, Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah, this is about perfect baseball conditions. Just nice and warm and no humidity. Just a beautiful night.
Launching a really fine weekend. A little cooler tomorrow during the daytime, but nothing but sunshine predicted. And temperatures in the 60s. And the Red Sox will go to Milwaukee. Play 3 games after an off day there. And all of those games will be played regardless of the weather. Because that's baseball indoors. Pedroia 0 for 2. He has fly down and grounded out to second. 2 hopper. Sano handles that chance. And guns to get him. And retire the side. Fast inning for the Sox. They go in order. Red Sox World Championship. And in game number 29, the Red Sox would lose to these Twins 2-1. Johan Santana, remember him? And the Twins bullpen limiting the Sox to 8 hits, 2 each by Kevin Youkilis and Manny Ramirez. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with it. It's going to be down the line. A fair ball by Rosario. He's now hitting 15 in a row. He wants second. Benintendi guns, a little offline, and it's a 2-base hit to begin the bottom of the 5th.
Tell you what, the Twins are wearing out that third base side tonight. Rosario, the left-handed hitter, going right down the line for the easy double to lead off the 5th inning. See where Rutledge is playing. He's playing in a little bit, but that ball just slapped right by him very hard. Again, bouncing off the wall. The relay in by Benintendi, but nowhere near in time.
So 15 straight for Rosario. 1 for 2 tonight. And trouble right away for Rodriguez in the 5th.
There's a case, where you ask a guy to make an out to the right side if he's going to make an out. But I think with Dozier, with his power, you just let him swing.
And that's one of the reasons why, as he rips it foul, but wickedly down into the corner.
That's what I mean. Why make him take a half swing, try to get a base hit the other way, or move the runner along with a ground ball out when he's got the kind of power that can, put 2 quick runs on the board.
4 home runs this season, 42 last year. And he does have 2 home runs in his career against Rodriguez. And down low, fans, be sure to stop by Plainridge Park Casino. Plainridge Park Casino, 45 minutes from Boston. Joe Mauer on deck. A ball, a strike on Dozier. And the 1-1. In for a strike.
That's pretty nasty right there. Fastball down and away. Rodriguez, and I know they've got a leadoff double off him, but he's really settled down since the 1st inning. He looked a little shaky early in the game, but recently he's been hitting his spots fairly well.
In the previous 3 innings, he allowed only 2 hits. Dozier with 60 home runs in this ballpark. Play on, and a throw into behind Pedroia. It skipped away, it was slowed down, so it never got to the outfield. And diving back in, Rosario.
A very dangerous pickoff attempt here. Fortunately for the Red Sox, this ball hits Rosario and it slows it down. If it doesn't hit him, it probably goes deep enough into center field where he can get to third base.
Says he's okay. Caught him on the hard hat. 1-2. Dozier an RBI man, 99 last year. Tried to hold up, did he? They appeal. That is strike 3 on the swing and the miss, and Dozier doesn't even know it. And finally he's being told he can walk away, a strikeout victim.
I don't think there's any question that was a swing. Dozier was completely surprised by the call at Gorman at first base. Let's take another look at it from the side. I think he did go. Very close. I mean, they're all close. I think he did go on that. He was fooled on the slider that time.
He strikes out for the 2nd time. Now Mauer hit by a pitch and scored a run. He's also grounded back to the mound. Goes after the very first pitch, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, if you look at the outfield defense, they give Mauer all of the right field line. Look where Mookie Betts is playing, and all the room to his left toward the line. They don't expect him to be able to pull Rodriguez. They play him to the opposite field in the outfield. and pretty much a little bit to pull in the infield.
Been a while since Mauer hit 300. You got to go all the way back to 2013 as Vasquez comes out. That year he hit 324. Also hit 347, 328, 365 to win a batting title. In his prime, a great hitter who hardly ever struck out. Hardly ever broke a bat. Stories are legendary how long he would keep the same bat without ever shattering it. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing, and it's inside. And at second base here, Minnesota leading 2-1 in the 5th inning. Leadoff double for Rosario, but now there's a man out. One and one on Mauer. Buried and stopped by Vasquez. And a runner holding.
Yeah, good block by Vasquez. Gets the changeup down in the dirt that time. Not trying to catch it, just trying to block it. Keep the man at second base. Right down to the knees.
Mauer in his career has been tough on lefties. 287. And a 2-1. Little trickler charging Moreland. Go for the tag, and he gets him down to third. Rosario, 2 away. So first baseman unassisted for the second out. Red Sox season ticket holders, you can experience the best seats, price, and benefits Fenway has to offer. For info on becoming a season ticket holder, please visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877 Red Sox 9 today.
They're just going to put Sano on first base. They're not going to deal with him. They got to intentionally walk him and take their chances with Grossman.
Still not used to the new rule where automatically he's put on and no pitches are thrown. As Willis comes out, and those pitches are not charged to the pitcher, unlike the old days, which was just last year.
Way back when.
Way back in the memory bank. First and third here with 2 down as Rodriguez tries to get out of the inning. Gave up 2 runs in the first inning, nothing since. Bobby Grossman with an RBI single in the first. He's also grounded out. Switch hitter with 1 home run. And he'll take a strike. Red Sox in the 6th will have Benintendi, Betts, and Ramirez due up against Phil Hughes. Strike 2. He's got change up, fastball, back to back. Working with Vasquez, looking for a K to end the inning. And the 0-2. Boy, that just missed.
And we've seen pitches higher than that call strikes tonight.
To be fair to Tripp Gibson, it's been a wide zone for both teams.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I'm not complaining about one team against the other. It's been the same for both sides.
1 and 2. Stopped again by Vasquez. Down the line moves Rosario, but he's going to go sliding back in without a throw.
Notice Rosario now, when he's going back to the bag, you come back in fair territory around that line, because if there's a throw to third base, you want that ball to probably hit you in the back, and then you get a chance to score. You don't want to also allow the third baseman to be able to see the baseball, so that's why you come back in fair territory.
2-2. You just get the sense, the way this game is being played, another low-scoring affair, that this is a huge hitter for Eduardo Rodriguez.
And Rodriguez wanted the changeup last time. Let's see if they go with it again. Yes, they are. They're going to go with the changeup.
2-2. Waved at and missed. He struck him out. That changeup got him. And they're frozen on the corners. Has added a 2-day family-friendly food festival introducing Crave, Rhode Island, June 15 and 16 at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. For tickets and information at cbshealthcharityclassic.com. Might turn out to be a very key performance there in that inning by Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was very big to get that strikeout. You know, you had the leadoff double. That run does not score.
Benintendi starting the 6th. He has belted a homer and struck out.
The intentional walk of Sano certainly paid off by picking up the strikeout against Grossman on a changeup.
So it's the 3rd time around for the Sox against Phil Hughes. 2-1. Benintendi snapping it over 10 tonight with that belt to center. Wind is kicked up here in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Big cut and a miss. Wind is blowing out.
Yeah, that's a much stronger breeze right now than we had at the beginning of the ball game.
And it really has shifted dramatically. 2-2. Line foul. Back to his home run in the 3rd inning.
The impressive part about this home run, it was on a changeup. So a lot of the power right there just presented by Benintendi. Not a bad changeup. Ball down and away, and he's able to hook it. And pretty decent amount of room between the fence and the baseball.
Full count. Hughes has not walked anybody.
That's not unusual.
Throws a lot of strikes. Always has. Betts on deck. Red Sox trying to string some hits together against the veteran. The 3-2 popped up along the line. Sano was way over towards short, so that went off into the stands anyway.
Now that's one I think Benintendi would like to have back again. That was a fastball right down the middle of the plate. And a little bit late on it. Watch the location of this pitch. It's supposed to be away, but it leaks down the middle.
Hittable. So the 3-2 again. From the native of Mission Viejo, California. And a line drive base hit into right past the diving Mauer. Red Sox have the leadoff man on, and Benintendi has his second hit. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will break down Erod's start. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. The battery together tonight. Red Sox now 5 hits to equal the Twins. One of those belongs to Mookie Betts, a double in the first inning. He's also lined to left. Mookie started the night hitting .281 with 2 home runs. And he's going to look at ball 1. Andy Ramirez next. Of course, Benintendi runs well. Not running here. Fly ball center field. Kepler coming on it. He'll make the play. And Benintendi retreats to first base.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons. Take a look at the surprisingly competitive American League East race with Rob Bradford. And part 1 of the Hanley Ramirez interview with Red Sox historian Gordon Eads.
Hanley with a couple of groundouts tonight. 1 to short, 1 to third. It makes him 4 for 12 lifetime against Phil Hughes. Hughes battle tested in the postseason. He's pitched in the playoffs 5 times, most recently 5 years ago. Not many were thinking about postseason play for the Twins this year, but they've gotten off to a promising start. One of the surprises in baseball at 14-12. Came into play tonight. Half game out of the lead in the AL Central. He lays off and a count 2-0. .339 down the left field line here at Target. .377 to the power alley in left center, and .411 to center. When it first opened, it was really a pitcher's park. A lot of hitters were complaining about it. Here's the 2-0. Little dribbler foul.
Well, that's because everybody came from the Metrodome, which was not a pitcher's park.
Yes. No question about that.
Went from a joke to one of the nicest ballparks in baseball. Of course, a lot of great moments at the Metrodome for the Twins.
That's right. Won a couple of championships there. Always remember the great Kirby Puckett. And the 2-1. Now 3-1 on Hanley.
Now here's where Hanley really has to narrow his zone down. Middle in, something he can drive for a long way.
Bogart's on deck, who's been a terror for the Twins. Benintendi leading at first base with one down. Red Sox are trailing 2-1. Hughes with a 3-1. And he walked him. His first walk of the night. Red Sox will be on at first and second. Tired of waiting in line to enter Fenway? With the MLB.com ballpark app, you can use the electronic ticket feature to enter through the mobile ticket fast lane. Stop waiting and download the ballpark app today. So Red Sox with one of their better scoring chances of the evening with Bogarts coming up. He has singled and grounded out tonight. 2 on and only 1 out. Xander coming off a very solid homestand. He hit .323 on it. He has hit safely in 9 in a row. We detailed his hitting success against Minnesota. Came into the ball game hitting .630 against them. He takes strike 1. That's over the last 11 games, .630. The wind really kicking up again. Two on and the 0-1 to Xander. And he fouls it back. Looks a little frustrated after that foul ball.
Yeah, fastball right down the middle of the plate. Good pitch to hit for Bogarts.
So to count 0-2. Old friend Craig Breslow now warming in the bullpen for Minnesota. Left-hander in the big leagues again. First and second. Benintendi and Ramirez leading, and a high fly foul on a play.
That's the situation here where you have first and second. You've got 1 out now. Nobody's holding on Hanley Ramirez at first base, so you get as big a lead as possible. And what you want to try to do, obviously, is break up that double play. You know, it used to be scary moments for a second baseman, a shortstop, when the first baseman wasn't holding that guy on, because if you can break up the double play, a run can score from second base. Much more difficult to do with the new rules today.
Hughes taking his time. He's set. And a bounding ball to the right side. Dozier falls down and throws, and he hurt himself. Runners will advance to second and third, but Dozier is in pain. He went pitching forward, may have turned that ankle. He did get the out at first base.
Yeah, that was very awkward by Dozier. I thought he was going to go to second, then he lost his balance completely. Let's see. Comes in. Looks like he might have turned his ankle, and then the only play he had was to go to first base. So instead of a first and third situation, it's second and third now with the 2 outs. Oh, yeah, he rolled over that left ankle. Ooh.
Boy.
He was lucky to get an out at all.
Going to try and walk it off here. Red Sox with 2 men in scoring position, but now 2 down, and Moreland will be the hitter. And we'll see if Dozier can continue. Hall of Fame manager Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer. As a player, Dozier is one of his key men.
He's acting like he's going to stand.
And wants his glove back. Molitor wants to make sure. And he is staying in the game. So the Red Sox with 2 men in scoring position for Moreland. And with a base hit, could take the lead. If Moreland can come through, but Hughes has been trouble for him tonight. He has struck him out both times. They have squared off. Moreland 260 with a pair of home runs. So it's Benintendi down to third, Ramirez at second.
They're going to put him on, looks like. Yep, they're going to put Moreland at first base and take their chances with Rutledge.
So the intentional walk will load him up for Rutledge, who's actually had better swings tonight than Moreland.
Yeah, Moreland struck out twice, and Rutledge got out on an error and had a pretty decent fly ball to center field.
Well, it should have been an error. They gave him a base hit.
Exactly.
Gift of a hit. They're all filled up with 2 down. No place to put him. And strike 1. See that wind rippling his uniform. Benintendi at third, Ramirez at second, Moreland at first with 2 away, and the 0-1. Fly ball right at him, backing up Kepler, still backing up. He's got it. And the Red Sox, with their best scoring chance tonight, cannot push across a run. It remains 2-1 Minnesota. Let's poll question now. Who is the Minnesota Twins' greatest left-handed hitter? Rod Carew or Joe Mauer? And this was a runaway for the great Rod Carew. 91% of you. Underway here in the bottom half of the 6th.
I think even Joe Mauer would have voted for Rod Carew on that one.
He may have.
Yeah.
Kepler, the batter. He's gone 0 for 2 tonight. That one in tight.
There's another great Minnesota hitter that we neglected to mention, Tony Leva.
Sure. Great hitter. Tony was here earlier.
Yeah, he was in uniform. .2-0 pitch. That finds the mark.
2 runs on 5 hits for the Twins, a run on 5 hits for the Red Sox, who just left the bases loaded. And a 2-1 pitch. That wind is wreaking all sorts of havoc as Tony has now come out of the uniform and he's relaxing, kicking back, watching the game.
Yeah, hangs out in batting practice with his uniform on, gets changed before the game and watches it.
In there for a called strike. Wasn't that long ago we'd come here to do games when the Sox would play the Twins, and you'd look down in the stands right in front of us and you'd see Paul Molitor.
Yes.
Watching as a fan. Now he's in the dugout running the show these last few years. Toward the middle, Pedroia with a dive, he can't get to it. So Kepler is on with a base hit. So Escobar will climb in next. He's gone 1 for 2 with an infield hit.
Now let's see how the Twins play this very close ball game. Got the leadoff man on base. Different types of options. You're getting deeper into the ball game. Could be a sacrifice. Could be a hit run.
He's taking and threw there for a strike. Started him with a slider. Kepler on with a leadoff hit. Last inning was not an easy one for Rodriguez. He had runners on the corners, but got out of it without a run being scored. Here's the 0-1. The pitch count beginning to climb up now. This will be number 92 for Erod. He's 1-1. Right through it on the swing and a miss by Escobar. That one was 92. He's been up there at 95, 94 several times tonight.
That's been another really good outing for Rodriguez tonight.
And a 1-2. Popped him up, but foul out of play.
Take a look at the scoring for the Twins tonight, all coming back in the first inning. A ball that Sano hits deep to the opposite field, and I think it fooled Mookie Betts how deep that it did go. 1 run comes across, then the Red Sox pull the infield in, and you get the ground ball. The third goes by the dive, and the second run comes in, and that's been it since then.
Left-hander trying to dial up a double play ball. He's not had one tonight. Pop up instead. Pedroia racing out, coming in behind him. It's Betts. That wind really taking it a bit. He'll make the play. Could be treacherous the rest of the night. 1 man gone. Upgrade your day with DD Perks. Earn a free beverage when you enroll in Speed Past the Line with on-the-go ordering. DD Perks, everyone deserves an upgrade. Download the Dunkin' app today. Speeding past the line may not be possible at all locations.
Really tough to tell in these conditions which way the wind is blowing. I mean, you look at some of the flags, it looks like it's blowing out toward right field. You look at others, and it looks like it's blowing straight in from left field to home plate. They call that a swirling wind. Would that be considered a
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Here's Castro. He fouls one back. He struck out and lined out 0 for 2. Another low-scoring affair. The Sox have been involved in a lot of them here in 2017. There's activity. And the Sox pitcher, Joe Kelly's getting going as that pitch count begins to climb for Rodriguez. Getting up near 100 and a high fly into that swirling wind, but that'll be pushed foul. And the count 0-2. Now come the 7th inning. Red Sox will have Jackie Bradley, Christian Vasquez, Dustin Pedroia due up. So far, Phil Hughes has scattered 5 hits. And he has a slim lead. And the 0-2 to Castro. Fly to left. Benintendi still backing up there to make the play. Just shy of the warning track. Back to first Kepler, 2 down.
Now there's one where I thought the wind probably knocked it down a little bit. In that area out there, looks like the wind's blowing in, and on contact I thought it was going to go deep, but Benintendi looking back, and then he has to pull up, and he doesn't quite make the warning track to make the catch.
Rodriguez pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 2/3, 6 strikeouts, 6 hits, and 97 pitches. Jorge Polanco now, he's doubled and flied out. Leadoff man single. That's Kepler. He's still glued to first base. Polanco with a 2nd inning double with 1 down, but nothing came of that. Since the 1st inning, the few times where Rodriguez has been in some trouble, he has really been bearing down in those spots and getting out of it. That's strike 1. Well, all the scoring to this point, hadn't been much of it, but all of it was early. Minnesota with 2 runs in the 1st inning. Red Sox with a run in the 3rd inning on the Benintendi home run. That's been it. And the 0-1. Soft ground ball behind the bag, and Rutledge goes for the force play to retire the side. Sox are coming up in the 7th. They need some offense. 2-1 Minnesota. by the young left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez, but now he needs some offensive support. Not the only left-hander for the Red Sox who could say that. A 2-1 Twins lead. We'll see if this is the inning. It'll be Jackie Bradley, Christian Vasquez, and Dustin Pedroia. And Phil Hughes back out there, the right-hander. And now he wants Castro to join him. Jackie is 0 for 2 tonight. Well, certainly our thoughts and our wishes and prayers go out to the family of Sam Maley, who played for the Boston Red Sox and managed the Twins as well. So connections with both of the teams we're watching here tonight. The pitch will miss for ball 1. Services for Sam will be in Quincy on Saturday as Presley and Rogers get going in the bullpen. That's in there for a strike.
Bradley again looking bad. Another high strike call that time by Gibson, the home plate umpire, but he's been consistent up there all night long.
Jackie Bradley is due to bust out as he takes one low. Beginning Tuesday, NESN Sports Today will premiere a new look designed to save you time. More news, less time. Giving you more of the latest on your favorite sports teams in Boston. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. And a high twisting pop out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Jackie. Vasquez next. Sox trying to mount some sort of an attack against the 30-year-old Phil Hughes. Came in with an ERA over 5, but he's been a lot tougher than that tonight.
Yeah, I did not expect this game to go the way it is. I thought the Red Sox had put a pretty good hurting on Hughes tonight.
Only Benintendi has hurt him with that home run in the 3rd inning. Mookie Betts did double in the 1st. Those are the only 2 extra base hits. So right now 90. Just a bit over his average of 88 per game. 3-2. High fly into right field. Grossman waiting on that. And Jackie is 0 for 3.
Tomorrow at 1:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will be joined by Boston Globe's Peter Abraham with the latest from the Red Sox clubhouse and preview tomorrow's starter Rick Porcello. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
2-1 Minnesota. Top of the 7th inning. Vasquez has flied to right twice. Pedroia on deck. Last 3 in the 3rd innings, the Red Sox have 1 hit against Hughes. That one knocked down by Sano. He'll pick it up. He has a gun and he gets him for the 2nd out after knocking it down.
Wow, that's a pretty nice play by Sano down there, because that ball hit very, very hard by Vasquez. He reaches out to the backhand, knocks it down, but fortunately for him, it goes toward first base. So all momentum's going toward first base for him to make that strong throw. If it goes either way, to his right or left, they're not going to get Vasquez.
Two gone for Pedroia. Hitless tonight, 0 for 3. That's rare for him against Minnesota. Rare for him against Hughes.
Sano right close to that third base line. They've got the 1-run lead late in the game, trying to prevent the double.
The bullpen has been one of the weaknesses for Minnesota. As mentioned, they've been a surprise because they played so well in so many phases of the game, but their bullpen has been an issue. It would not be the worst thing in the world for the Red Sox to say goodbye to Hughes and get into their pen. 2-0 foul back. 68 career games against the Twins. Dustin Pedroia is hitting .362, and the only other active player with a higher batting average against one opponent, Miguel Cabrera, .390 against Texas. That's a minimum of 250 at bats. So he's been feasting on the Twins. The 2-1. That one yanked behind the bag, but foul. Two and two on Pedroia with the bases empty. Benintendi next if Pedroia should reach. Here's his 98th pitch, and now Pedroia will back out, asking for time.
Now the pitch he wanted to throw was the changeup before Pedroia called timeout. If they go back to it, they do.
That's a rocket out there to right field on the run. Grossman turning around. It's going to be off the wall. Pedroia heading into second base and a hard charge. The throw is not in time. That really took off Pedroia's bat, and he's into scoring position representing the tying run.
Yeah, when you look at the two pitches tonight that have done damage to Hughes, it was a changeup to Benintendi for the home run. Now a changeup to Pedroia that he takes to the opposite field. And it looks like Paul Molitor is going to make that pitching change right now. They decide on the changeup. The changeup is down, but Pedroia goes right with it and hits it a long way in that gap in right center field. Off the bottom of the wall. So the Red Sox get that potential tying run in a scoring position with 2 outs.
Hughes coming out. He gets a nice hand here in Minnesota. Rogers coming on to face Benintendi, and we'll be back in a moment. Is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Paul Molitor brings on the left-hander Taylor Rogers, a second-year man who used a ton last year. He's very tough on lefties. Here's Benintendi, who takes the breaking ball for a strike. Red Sox have the tying run at second. Thirteenth appearance for the lefty out of the University of Kentucky. Benintendi with a good night going, a home run and a single. Check swing, he made contact, fouled it away. It's 0-2.
Yeah, back-to-back slide as he doubles up on the slide. His first 2 pitches to Benintendi. Benintendi asking the umpire right there, was that ball a strike? And home plate umpire Gibson acknowledging, yes, it was.
Rogers last year held rookie lefties to a 202 average, and that one way outside, couldn't get him to chase it. And the count 1-2. So Hughes goes 6 2/3, 1 run so far. Pedroia at second belongs to him after Dustin doubled off the right field wall. 2 down.
Once again, you have that situation where Grossman in right field very, very shallow against Benintendi.
Rogers with a long look in, and now Benintendi steps out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball gently hit, coming on Grossman, and that retires the side. So a threat for the Red Sox, but a man stranded at second. Still 2-1 Minnesota. Is the #1 mobile app for live Red Sox baseball. Stay connected. Get Red Sox home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Back out there for his 7th inning is Eduardo Rodriguez. Again, a very nice performance without much run support. Just the 1 run on the home run by Benintendi. First one in tight on Rosario, and that bounces away for ball 1. He has flied out and doubled. And it's the top of the order. Dozier turned an ankle while fielding a ground ball by Bogaerts, but hung in there. And then Joe Mauer. Meanwhile, Kelly continues to throw in the Sox pen.
Yeah, you just have to wonder if Rodriguez is going to make it through this inning.
Right at 100 pitches. And that's a ball. Left-hander from Venezuela takes a sign. And a 2-0. John Farrell keeping a close watch on Rodriguez. He's allowed 6 hits. That's how many the Sox have. 2, and a 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike. Only walked 1 man, and that was an intentional walk of Sano in the 5th inning. Is 3-1. He has filled up the count.
That's a good pitch right there. He goes to the slider on a 3-1 count. Of course, all Rosario's thinking about is a fastball in that situation, and he snaps off the breaking ball.
Season high for Eduardo is 108 pitches. He's done that twice each of his last 2 starts. He's at 105 as of this one. Toward the gap. That's going to find the alley. That'll drop down and go all the way to the warning track and the fence. Rosario with wheels. Fast around second. He's going to make it into third base, sliding with a triple to lead off here in the 7th inning. That on a 3-2 pitch.
Well, you know, it's all about location, and we talked about the 3-1 slider. This is the 3-1 slider on the 3-1 count. Right there, perfect pitch. Now he tries it again, but he leaves it inside. And when you leave the breaking ball inside to a lefty, remember, he's bailing out a little bit, and that becomes a very hittable pitch. And a leadoff triple right there by Rosario.
And the last pitch he throws tonight. And out he comes here in the 7th inning. Kelly coming in. 2-1 Minnesota. More in a moment. With NESN's free Red Sox text alerts. From breaking news to in-game alerts, NESN will make sure you're in the know. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. And now Joe Kelly with his 12th appearance, 2-0 at 2.51 ERA. Faced 3 batters in a hitless 9th on Monday against the Orioles. Infield in. Dozier, the batter, he's gone 0 for 3 as a man at third and nobody out. Minnesota leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, I don't think the runner at third is going to go on contact here if there's a ground ball to the infield with nobody out. But with 1 out, that would be a different story.
And the man at the plate, a big-time home run hitter. He tried to hold up and he swung and missed.
Yeah, fooled on the breaking ball there by Joe Kelly.
Maybe not your prototype as far as a slugger. He's 5'11", about 197 pounds, but terrific power. Rosario at third.
Try to elevate the fastball here on the 0-2 count. Go for the strikeout, but no bite.
Mauer on deck. And runner on third base belongs to Rodriguez. Joe Kelly with a 1-2. And again, the breaking ball. 2-2. High stress pitches again from a Red Sox starter because he didn't have any runs to work with. And the 2-2. All filled up. Well, that wind has become part of the narrative here. As of about 2-3 innings ago, when it made its appearance. 3-2 to Dozier. He strikes him out. Well, he went heavy with the slider. Dozier fans for the third time.
Yeah, 3 times tonight, and twice he didn't like it. He's having a few more words this time with Gibson, the home plate umpire. That is pretty nasty, that pitch. A slider to the outside part of the plate. Let's see if he gets the corner. Very, very close. Well, again, it's been wide all night. It's been high, it's been wide. Now I think the runner at third base, if there's contact on the ground, will go on contact.
Bauer 0 for 2 and hit by a pitch. Stopped by Vasquez, no advance.
And what I mean by that is if the runner at third base reads that the ball is going to be hit on the ground, he'll just take off and go. Trying to beat any throw to home plate.
And Rosario is fast. He showed that off with his triple. 2-1 Minnesota. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-0 to Mauer. Big Miguel Sano on deck. Mauer hitting just .225, but he has long been a premier line drive hitter. And a breaking ball sat right on the outside edge. 2-1.
Yeah, Mauer is, what he's trying to do right now is get a pitch that he can lift in the air somewhere. Sometimes you adjust your swing a little bit. You try to get a little bit more under the baseball to get the ball up in the air deep enough to get the sacrifice fly.
Rosario 90 feet away, man. The 2-1. That's a strike.
Good over the top curveball that time from Kelly.
Well, he likes his breaking ball more than his fastball here tonight.
Yeah, he does. The majority of the pitches have been either the slider or curveball.
And a count 2-2. Infield leaning in. Moreland, Pedroia, Bogarts, and Rutledge. And the 2-2 to Mauer. Ground ball, Pedroia can't get it. It's a base hit, and the run is in. RBI single by Mauer. Charge that run to Rodriguez. That'll make it 3-1 Minnesota. 11th RBI of the season for Joe Mauer.
Well, they tried to go at the breaking ball again, but this time Mauer was sitting on it, and with the infield pulled in, no problem getting it by the dive of Pedroia. That one stayed up in the zone, middle of the plate, and became a very hittable pitch for Mauer.
So close the book on Eduardo Rodriguez. It was a quality start, 6+, 3 runs, 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, but a 3-1 lead now for Minnesota. Sano now, he has tripled, struck out, and been intentionally walked. Tried to hold up a swing and a miss for strike 1. He has 8 home runs. He's driven in 28 runs. Sano was suspended and appealed it a week ago after a dust up with the Tigers. which he bumped McCann, the catcher. It was after Detroit pitcher Matt Boyd had sailed a pitch behind him. Still able to play, of course, on appeal. And a 1-1. Fastball in at 99. 2-1. Three runs on 8 hits for the Twins, 1 run on 6 hits for the Red Sox. Mauer coming through with the infield in with that base hit. Ground ball through for a single. That'll advance Mauer to second base. That's their 3rd hit here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, 3 hits in this inning, and all 3 have come on the breaking ball. And since Kelly's been in the last 2, the base hit on a curveball. There's the curveball again. It's topped, but it's topped right through the infield for the base hit.
So Carl Willis heading out to the hill here with runners at first and second, only 1 down. Hey, tomorrow morning on an all-new dining playbook, Billy and Jenny head to Brick and Ash in Newburyport to tell you about 3 spots to hit before, during, and after the game around Fenway Park. And don't miss this and more on an all-new dining playbook tomorrow morning at 9. Dining playbook driven by your New England Chevy dealers. Robbie Grossman, a cleanup man, next. He can put a real hurt on the Red Sox here in the 7th inning.
Yep, Red Sox running out of time. 6 outs left.
He's driven in a run already tonight with a base hit back in the 1st, 1 for 3. Another block by Vasquez for ball 1.
You're right, Dave. A lot of breaking balls tonight from Kelly.
Did see a fastball a couple of moments ago at 99, but he did not get the call. And it's unusual to see Joe throw this many off-speed pitches, breaking balls. Looking for a double play ball right here. Sox up the middle, a double play depth, and the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Come the 8th inning, it'll be Betts, Ramirez, Bogarts against the Minnesota bullpen. Two and 1. Robbie Scott in the Sox pen. Left-hander getting loose. And Kelly with a long look into Vasquez with Mauer at second, Sano at first. Foul tip to the mid.
99 on that fastball, little tail on it going away from Grossman.
Twins just scored for the first time since the 1st inning on a base hit by Mauer to chase in Rosario. Here's the 2-2 to Grossman. He strikes him out. He caught him looking 99 with that Swifty.
Well, you know, he's thrown so many curveballs in this inning that, you know, as a hitter, you're kind of up there expecting to get a breaking ball, and instead he buzzes him with the fastball. But there's no way that he was looking for fastball here. He's thinking breaking ball, and he just takes it right down the middle of the plate.
Two down. Kepler next. He's 1 for 3 with a base hit and a strikeout. But here comes John Farrell, and he's making a call to the bullpen. He's got Scott ready to go, so that'll do it for Kelly. will break as well. Minnesota leading it 3-1 with 2 down in the 7th inning. Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. LL Bean, inspiring products designed for a reason. Plainridge Park Casino, 45 minutes from Boston. Subaru Retailers of New England. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Sox are down here 3-1. Eduardo Rodriguez, who has long since departed this, staying right in that spot. And watching as Robbie Scott comes out of the bullpen. Stranded 2 runners to get his 4th hold on Wednesday against the Orioles. And inheriting runners at first and second with 2 away for Max Kepler, who is 1 for 3. Big swooping curveball will miss for ball 1.
Now Robbie Scott, a guy that'll drop down to the side both with his fastball and his breaking ball.
Runners are Mauer at second and Sano at first. That's in for a strike.
That's the good one. The one he throws, directly at the body of the left-hander and it breaks to the middle or outside part of the plate.
One and one. Big cut and a miss.
Back to the breaking ball again, this time a little bit more away to the outside corner. See where the second pitch was. Now watch the location of the third outside. Perfect pitch.
3 hits in the inning for Minnesota. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. Got him looking. The bullpen actually strikes out 3 men. But a run scores. It is 3-1 Twins as we go to the 8th. today, we take a look back at the contentious Game 3 of Celtics-Wizards. SN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank.
Had a few ejections in that basketball game last night.
Yeah, it got heated. Well, this one has been pretty calm, but the Twins have the 3-1 lead. This is Matt Belisle, pitched for a lot of teams.
Certainly has. He's been with just about everybody. Atlanta, Cincinnati, Colorado, St. Louis, Washington, and Minnesota.
36-year-old right-hander facing Mookie Betts. Mookie with a double, a liner to left, and a fly to center. 8th inning. Red Sox offense has not really shown up tonight. Andrew Benintendi, the highlight, with a home run in the 3rd inning, and that is the only run the Sox have. Ramirez and then Bogaerts. So the Red Sox right here in the heart of the order with an opportunity late. 1-2. Hanley will be looking for his first hit. And Belisle with a 1-2. That's in there for strike 3. And Mookie will take a seat. 1 away.
Looks like this last pitch was called on a strike, not a swing. Yeah, it was called on a strike, not a swing by Betts.
Hanley Ramirez is grounded out on 2 occasions. He's also taken ball 4. Playing in career game number 1,500 tonight. That one dives into the corner on a slider for strike.
A lot of sliders for Belisle.
Hanley likes him though. 7 for 20, 2 doubles, 350 lifetime. And the 0-1 pitch. Bogaerts on deck. Phil Hughes went 6 2/3. Gave up the 1 run, 6 hits. He's in line for the victory. And at this point, Eduardo Rodriguez, despite pitching very well, would suffer the defeat. Still time for the Red Sox to do something about that. Here in the top half of the 8th inning in Minnesota. And he fouled that one off himself to make it 2-2. Tomorrow, 2:10, it'll be Rick Porcello on the mound. And then on Sunday at 2:10, the finale here, Chris Sale. He faces the right-hander Irvin Santana, who is perhaps the only guy in the American League having a better season right now. That is debatable, but he's 5-0.
Well, we'll find out when they go head-to-head.
It is Sunday afternoon here. 2-2. Well outside. You saw Chris Sale, by the way, as you look at Santana there, you saw him chatting up Chase Darno. And if you ever see Chase and he's not smiling, let us know, because he might be the happiest guy you're going to meet. And he loves being a member of the Red Sox. Here comes a 3-2, fouled away.
Now Hanley finally got his fastball there at 91 and fouled it off. And a steady diet of sliders to him in this at bat.
They'll climb back in, 3-2. Sox could use a big fly to shake things up here. shot to center field, but Kepler lines it up, and he's there to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC and Steve Lyons dive deep into the key moment of tonight's game and look ahead to Rick Porcello's start tomorrow afternoon. It actually reads TC and Steve Lyons deep dive into the key moment. I danced around it because I'm a professional, but
That was a nice adjustment on the fly.
yeah, someone's messing with me, I think. 2 down for Xander. 1 for 3 with a single. Not only that, but Jim Rice is in there. So Jim will be in the studio, diving deep. We may have to start writing those things, you and I.
No.
Not going to happen.
You can leave me out of that.
There's no we. The 1-1, a cut and a miss. Well, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Red Sox have been punchless. Xander without a home run on the young season. The 1-2 coming. Got a piece of it.
My promos will be very, very brief. Join TC, Jim, and Steve right after the game.
Right there. That's it.
They'll be there.
What more do you need to know? Bases are clean, 2 down, and the 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Xander Bogaerts. Their closer, Kinsler, now throwing in the bullpen. He has converted all 7 of his save opportunities. Red Sox trying to make some noise here in the 8th. Held to 6 hits. Little flare out to left center on a charge. Kepler, he runs it down, and that's all. The Red Sox go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th inning. 3-1 Twins. Last half of the 8th inning coming your way here from Target Field in Minnesota. It remains 3-1 the Twins. They'll bring up Escobar, Castro, and Polanco. And the Red Sox will be facing the Twins closer come the 9th inning. Escobar in this one has beat out an infield hit. He's gone 1 for 3. Scott staying on the pitch and deals too high for a ball. And for the Twins, 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Sox, a run, 6 hits, and no errors. Twins have left 8. Red Sox have stranded 7. And a count 2-1. If the Red Sox should lose here tonight, they would drop to 15-14. As Ben Taylor begins to throw, and Minnesota would improve to 15-12. They continue to play very solid baseball. Swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. Sox bullpen has been a real strength of this team. It ranks among the major league leaders in a bunch of categories. Number 3 in ERA. Number 6 in opponent's batting average, allowing just a .205 clip. Three and 2. Red Sox in the 9th have Moreland, Rutledge, and Bradley due up against the Twins' right-handed closer. And now the 3-2. Punch to that right side. Pedroia on the charge, has to get rid of it quick, and he does to beat him. So 1 man gone. Here's the game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Right now, Erod would take the loss. Benintendi does have a home run tonight. In fact, he's gone 2 for 4. Bauer had a huge hit. That RBI single. Sano's gone 2 for 3. And Hughes would get the win right now after going 6 2/3. He was tough. Just 1 earned run. And from a man who came in with an ERA over 5.
I think that's been the biggest surprise for me tonight, the fact that the Red Sox were able to get after Phil Hughes, because you looked at his numbers and they were not very impressive at all. You throw out the wins and losses, and I mean, he had some big hit totals against him.
Early in the game, you brought up how often he is using his changeup compared to the last time the Red Sox saw him, and many times they have seen him.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have the velocity he once had, you know, so he's, and I has always mentioned the fact that, you know, he's a guy that doesn't walk anybody. He's around the plate. He loves strike 1. And what happens, he was getting in a habit of, you know, throwing those fastballs on strike 1, taking swings, and they were making good solid contact. So he decided to go to more changeups, and it's kind of helped him offset that first pitch. It gives him something off speed to look at instead of that, you know, that straight fastball. But disappointing effort by the Red Sox, I thought, tonight against Hughes.
Just 6 hits. Really not many rallies. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, and down goes Castro, and there are 2 down. Closer look at Hughes tonight.
You know, mixing up his pitches to pick out some strikeouts against the Red Sox. He does an outside corner with the fastball, a fastball up above the belt to Moreland, a little cut fastball to the outside part of the plate, a fastball inside to Moreland. So, you know, strikeouts, most of them coming with either fastballs or cut fastballs. But in the meantime, mixing in that changeup quite often and a few curveballs.
Jorge Polanco with a double, a fly out, and a fielder's choice. 1 for 3 tonight. Bases empty. Showing bunt, and takes a ball instead. Red Sox will try and climb back in this thing in the 9th inning. Kinsler has been throwing in their bullpen. He should be all warmed up and ready to go. Robbie Scott trying to get the last man here in the 8th inning. We had 2 down. Flared into left. Benintendi, plenty of time, dips down for that, and it's a 1-2-3. Last chance for the Red Sox. Kinsler coming on, their closer. 3-1 Minnesota. A video showing a lot of personality that'll be edited into a commercial showing players' personalities. The top video airs as a Red Sox commercial on Nesson, and a winning fan gets $1,000 plus a visit to our broadcast booth. Go to NessonNext.com and upload your video right now. Here we go to the 9th inning. Red Sox need 2 to tie. Down 3-1. They have been trailing since the first inning. Out hit so far 9-6. Very little offense. Brandon Kinsler, a right-hander from Las Vegas who worked during the 2009 offseason as a limo driver for the Wynn Hotel in Vegas. And now the closer. And taking on Mitch Moreland, who will look at strike 1.
That's got to be a strange job, right? A limo driver for a casino. You either you either get a big tip from guys who won, or you get nothing from those who didn't win.
A lot more of the latter, I would guess. Moreland has gone 0 for 2 with a walk. He was intentionally passed in the 6th inning. Trying to get on the all-important leadoff hitter in the inning, down by 2. Well, the last 14 games, the Sox have scored 5 or more runs just 4 times. Another difficult offensive night so far as he looks at a strike.
That was a changeup that time at 88 miles an hour.
Rutledge on deck, and then Jackie Bradley scheduled to hit. We are in the 9th inning at Target Field. One, 2, ground ball toward the shift, and a miss there by Sano. Remember, he's a third baseman. Used to being on that side and did not get down for it, so Moreland's on.
Yeah, he looked awfully awkward on that play right there. Moving into that position on the shift and not showing a lot of range. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 2 steps and a dive, and the ball's by him.
And Marrero, who's just recalled from the minor leagues, will run for him at first base. So Glimmer of hope here for the Red Sox. Devin Marrero now taking over at first. And Rutledge, the batter, he's gone 1 for 3 with a single back in the second inning. Sox with what is now their 7th hit on the board. And it'll be ball 1. Jackie trying to bust out of a slump. And we'll get another chance in the 9th inning. A strike at 94. Generally, their bullpen has been a trouble spot for Paul Molitor, but Kinsler's been good. He's converted all 7 of his save chances since the start of 2016. He's 24 for 27. Ground ball deep short. Polanco to be tested, knocks it down. Everybody's safe. That'll be a hit. Red Sox in business. First and second. Nobody out.
Well, you know, he's got 2 ground balls. That's what he is. He's a ground ball pitcher, but both. One had run by Sano. This one really nobody had a chance at right there. Polanco trying to go to the backhand, but he's not going to get anybody if he gets that ball clean. Now, how do the Red Sox play this? Bradley has been struggling at the plate. Do we let him swing away, or do we have him sacrifice?
What do you do?
I'm going to say let him swing away.
Well, tonight 0 for 3. Very cold homestand for Jackie. He's pulled out of the lineup one night to work on some things. He went 3 for 28 on the homestand. Red Sox with a chance here. 2 aboard. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Activity in the Sox pen. Barnes getting going. Vasquez on deck. Marrero at second. Rutledge at first. And now Young is out. And fouled back.
Yeah, they put the bunt on for one play. I don't know if Bradley was doing that on his own, but then they take it off and they let him swing with the count 0-1.
Looked like we caught a shot at John Farrell kind of shouting something out to Jackie.
Yeah. He was also calling back Vasquez from the on-deck circle. They were sending Young out there, too.
Yep. So here comes the 0-2 to Bradley. Well, the Sox with one of their better scoring chances all night. The only run the Sox have was the Benintendi home run to center in the 3rd inning, a solo drive. Kinsler with a 1-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it, but
that was a good pitch to hit. That was a hanging sinker at 94 miles an hour right down the heart of the plate. If you're swinging the bat well, you make good solid contact on that.
You say that was a slump buster.
Oh.
Craig Kimbrell joining Barnes now. Red Sox get the closer up. Nobody out. And a 1-2. Ground ball. Dozier bobbles it, flips it. Got him at first base, and the runners advance to second and third. It was a high toss. It kind of hung up there forever, but he got him. So it's Marrero down to third and Rutledge into second.
Now that's a little bit of a break because, you know, if he makes it clean, he might have a chance to spin and get that lead runner at second base. And still, the only option he's got is to go to get an out at first base. So the Red Sox get the potential tying run into second. I really believe Dozier wanted to catch that ball, spin, and throw to second and get a force out to keep that man out of scoring position. Remember, it's a 2-run ball game. Now the Red Sox have the potential tying run at second base.
And Chris Young being announced, hitting for Vasquez with Neil Allen, the pitching coach, out there to consult. And a big conference with 1 down. Red Sox trying to rally. and have a chance to tie it with a base hit. Chris at 246 without a home run. So hitting for Christian Vasquez, who went 0 for 3. And Dustin Pedroia on deck. Ninth inning, runners at second and third. Red Sox trailing by 2. And he'll take ball 1.
See where Sano is playing. He's playing very deep. So is the second baseman. So is the shortstop. They don't care about the man at third base, but they certainly care about the man at second base. Trying to knock anything down to keep him from scoring.
Back-to-back singles and then a ground out. He won't chase. 2-0. Marrero at third base, on as the pinch runner. Rutledge behind him at second. And Kinsler from the stretch. Here's the 2-0 pitch. A strike. That was a bit of a generous call. It was off the corner.
There have been a lot of generous calls tonight. Remaining consistent here in the 9th inning. Ball's outside by about a couple of inches.
Two one. Now 3-1 and a great count for Young. Well, if he walks him, Pedroia's next. He doubled his last time off the right center field wall. 3 pinch hit home runs for Young in his career. 3-1 now. High chopper along third, but a foul ball. So no throwing anyway, but a foul. So Marrero has to go all the way back to third base. Rutledge stayed at second. And the count 3-2. Red Sox attempting to rally. Not much to scream and shout about on the offensive end tonight. Red Sox once again have got quality pitching. Now the hitters trying to reward that effort. Marrero at third, Rutledge at second. Young ready. Kinsler ready. Hard ground ball. That's fair down the line. Marrero scores. Rutledge scores. Young coming through with a bullet down the line. He has tied the game in the 9th inning. Young off the bench in the clutch.
Well, you know, that is the disadvantage of having a sinker ball pitcher as your closer. He's a contact guy, and contact this time hard right down the third base line. That's going to drive in 2 runs. So the Red Sox, you know, catch a couple of breaks in this inning. They get that, the play that Dozier couldn't go to second and get the lead man. Then Young comes up, the righty against righty. He rifles one down the third base line, and you get a tie ball game.
A 2-run single to even the game at 3-3. And still only 1 man down. Dustin Pedroia up. He's gone 1 for 4. Against a franchise he has always hit. He'll take down low for a ball. Two for 6 against Kinsler in his career. Kinsler had been one of their bullpen guys who had actually performed pretty darn well, although their pen has been an Achilles heel. Red Sox tying to game 3 apiece here in the 9th. Benintendi on deck. High fly, twisting foul out of play by Dustin Pedroia. 1-1. Pedroia last night back home at Fenway launched his first home run of the season. That was career hit number 1708. He passed Harry Hooper for 8th place all time for the Red Sox.
A long set of signs put down there by Butterfield at third base. Too young at first base.
One shot. Here comes Kepler, though. He'll make the play in the alley. 2 down. And with the rally here, Red Sox have gotten Eduardo Rodriguez off the hook. So he will not suffer a loss here tonight. And here comes Benintendi. He's had a good night, 2 for 4, a home run and a single. He had been scuffling a little bit with the bat. He had been 0 for 10 before that blast in the 3rd inning to center field. Get the feeling his slumps are going to be mini slumps like that when they happen. Young on at first after that clutch 2-run single off the bench. Check swing, strike 1. It's Ryan Presley. He's up for the 2nd time in their bullpen. And the 0-1.
You think about how this inning started when they had the shift on Moreland, and Sano, who was in that position on the shift, couldn't move 2 feet to make the play. And that really got things going for the Red Sox. Got a base runner on there.
Huge play. It shifted him over to the right side. Mookie Betts on deck. 0-2. Broken back ground ball, and Dozier will scoop and get him to retire the side, but the Red Sox rally for 3 hits. Young with the big one to tie it at 3-3 as we go to the last half of the 9th. Game, and now the bullpen needs to hold it and get it to extra innings in a 3-3 game. Deb Marrero will stay in the game at 3rd base. That'll move Rutledge from 3rd over to 1st base, and Sandy Leon is the new catcher. She takes over for Vasquez, and Robbie Scott will continue to pitch. Rosario running up to bunt, left it behind, trying to drag it there, it looked like, and that is strike one.
Yeah, the off-speed pitch, the breaking ball fooled him on that. He wanted to take it right down the first base line, but the big break on the curveball threw off the timing. See Pedroia playing in tight just in case of a bunt. He's responsible for any bunt in that direction.
Hot shot. Nice backhand stab by Rutledge. He takes it himself for out number one. Man, nice play there.
Yeah, Rutledge moving across the diamond from third to first base makes a very nice backhanded play there. And able to take it himself to get the big first out of the ninth inning. And now Farrell to the mound.
It's going to be Matt Barnes coming out of that bullpen to go after Dozier, who is a big-time home run hitter. We'll take the break, tied 3-3, bottom of the ninth. More in a moment from Minnesota. Hit here against Matt Barnes. This may be a break for the Red Sox. Remember, he turned his ankle on a defensive play at second base several innings ago, and that has to have flared up, Jerry.
Yeah, there's no question that's why he's out of the ball game. Right here, the left ankle, you can see turn on him, and he was going to go to second base to try to get the lead man, then had to go to first base to get the out, but that apparently has swelled up on him, and he's out of the game right now.
So instead, Kenneth Vargas will hit for him. Big switch hitter with power. 6'5", 275. And facing Matt Barnes here with one out, bases are empty. Last half of the ninth, tied 3-3. Red Sox have seen Vargas before in 4 career games. He is 6 for 17 against Boston. I'll take a fastball away. 1-1. Sox trying to force the game to extra innings. And Matt Barnes with a 1-1. Another fastball outside. Vargas in the minor leagues, 143 games, hit 25 home runs. Hot shot, again stopped by Rutledge, again to the bag by himself for the second out. So since moving from third to first, he's made both plays, and that'll send up Joe Mauer.
And he's made them both look easy.
Mauer was hit by a pitch in the first inning. He would score, and he drove in a run in the 7th inning. That made it 3-1. That time things were looking a little bleak for the Red Sox, but rallied in the 9th to tie it. Each side with 9 hits. Each side has left 8. Mauer with 1 home run on the year. And a strike. Right on the black.
As the defense put on Mauer, they kind of play him a bit to pull in the infield, but shade him to the opposite field in the outfield.
Here's the 0-1 from Barnes. The Sox get it to the 10th. It's Betts, Ramirez, Bogarts. Heart of the order due up. We are tied 3-3. 2 out, bases clean in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Twins. And a breaking ball snaps in there for a strike.
Yeah, good curveball that time from Barnes. It's been all fastballs to that point. He drops the breaking ball on him.
Mauer is such a good contact hitter, but Barnes wants a K here with a 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, well hit. Bradley racing back all the way to the wall. It's gone. He's hit the home run to win it. This one is over. A walk-off for Mauer. With 2 down in the bottom of the 9th inning, it's over. Minnesota wins it. 4-3 the final. Mauer with a bullet, knocks it out of the ballpark into the bullpen off of Matt Barnes, and the Minnesota Twins TC have taken game 1 of this 3-game series.